Hello everyone, and thank you for clicking on this video with me, Angela Renee, and this is Angela Renee Chats with another episode of Tea with Ange. But we are not at a coffee shop today. We are in a home of my friend, and we're still drinking tea. I'm so glad you came today because I am here with my friend Sophia, and she is playing
the Tibetan singing bowl.
Yes, that thing. That is so relaxing that I actually would rather lay my head down and go to sleep. But we're not going to do that. We're going to talk today about something that I hold dear to my heart because I love love. And so we are going to talk about loving other people. How we can do that in a world that is just kind of crazy. So hang out with us. Thanks again for being here. And we are talking today about something that I just feel we are lacking a lot of in today's world. There's a lot of just unrest, stress, dislike, and people don't love each other a lot anymore. So we're talking about loving others, trying to grow the love in this place a little bit. And we are at Sophia's home. So we switched it up today. We are not in a tea garden. We are not at a coffee shop, but we are at her home drinking some tea. What do you have?
I have Be Happy, or actually Happy Me tea.
Happy Me tea. I also have Happy Me. We have Youthful Me, Refresh Me, Sensual Me. What is this one?
Sleepy Me.
Sleepy Me, Slim Me, Happy Me.
Sweet Rose.
She is like a gazillion teas. And this one is Sweet Tulsi Sweet Rose. Chamomile. I might throw it. Yeah. Rose Hip and Spice Chai from Trader Joe's. So we have all these amazing teas, but I just want to taste mine real quick because I have.
It has apple, ginger root, coriander fruit, and marigold flowers.
And it's good. I added honey to mine. So yeah, so that's what we have today. We're in her house. It's a beautiful home. And Sophia is a wife, a mom, a teacher, another one of the homeschool moms that I've talked to. I think everybody that has been on so far has been a homeschool mom. So
wow.
Sophia is also a homeschool mom and an inspired teacher for homeschool families. That's our charter school. Yes. And she's a poet, a beautiful poet. Are you going to share one with us today?
Yeah.
She's like, you did not tell me that part.
If I haven't memorized.
We'll see what
happens. Or
happens.
I can get one. I can get one to read, absolutely.
It's okay. She's also a public speaker, and we just love it. Oh, actually, and she's a yoga instructor. Of course, as you can see, she's very peaceful. I mean, you get around her, no, she's always peaceful. So let's just jump right in, Sophia. I want to know, can you just share with us like where you come from, how you turned out to be such a peaceful and loving person? Like, how did you get there?
It's been a long journey. I didn't start out as a peaceful, loving person. I mean, I think I was loving. I think we're all loving when we come onto this earth. But there's a lot of ups and downs, and back and forths, and lots of kind of stops and starts along the way. And, you know, of course, all of us, we don't get to adulthood without our journeys and our kind of things that we go through, our adventures that get us there. But, you know, I wasn't always a positive person for sure. And there was moments and years of darkness and difficulty and challenges. And they're still here. Just because you're a positive, peaceful person doesn't mean that the challenges leave your life. You just know how to deal with them better. Yeah. And that's why, you know, you'd have the practice of whatever it is that brings you to peace and balance. But it's just been a work in progress, you know. Yeah. I'm the kind of person that kind of really needs to experience things, even if they're not the best things, and kind of take that fall sometimes and just get back up and say, okay, learn my lesson, keep going and growing and gradually transforming. It was never like a forced transformation for myself, like I have to change myself, but it was rather just kind of understanding that came with all these experiences that I went through, that all shapes and sizes, and, you know, from different parts of my life. And, you know, that's why I'm here today. But at a certain point, you start to feel like there is more to this life than just kind of being a victim of it. And that's when the, you know, positivity and practice came into play.
Yeah, I love that you talked about not being a victim to life. I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned in the last year of my life is taking myself out of the victim mentality, out of the victim role, and just taking responsibility for how I felt about life, how I thought about life, how I saw things that were going on in my life. And that allowed me to heal a lot of areas in my life that were broken, and just I don't know, be able to love myself more.
Absolutely.
So that I could love others better, starting with my children, because
Right.
you know, all of our stuff can come out
Yes.
against them when we're going through things, right? So especially when you're homeschooling and they're there all the time. Okay, so you had mentioned something that I thought was really interesting about the timing that we are doing this talk today. It's not quite fall, but it's kind of the end of summer, and it's windy, and it's pretty in the shade. It's hot in the sun,
right.
And we're drinking hot tea.
Mm-hmm.
But what were you saying about the time?
Oh, I was just saying that yesterday, the 23rd, right? Yesterday was the 23rd, is the fall equinox. So it's actually the beginning of fall, and it's the time when there's an equal amount of daylight and nighttime hours. So it's in balance. So we have 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night, whereas in the summer solstice, we had, you know, much more day and fewer night hours. It got dark pretty late.
Right.
And then as we move into the winter solstice, we're going to have more dark hours than light hours. So that's going to be kind of topsy-turvy. But right now we're at perfect equilibrium between day and night. So it's a perfect time to balance ourselves and to really use this time to find that balance as we move into those darker kind of months where we will have to work on ourselves more to bring that light out, because it'll be dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And when we wake up in the morning, and it's not always going to be easy to get out of bed.
Yeah.
As easy it is in the summer when it's sunny and warm and things like that. So it's a good time right now because of the fact that everything is in balance. So it's a good time to bring ourselves into balance as nature is showing us to do.
That's cool. I love that. So in talking about loving others, one thing that I've seen in our world today is there's a lot of judgment and criticism, and that criticism and judgment leads to people disliking one another for lots of different reasons. Some reasons being very valid and other reasons not being so valid. And one thing I've noticed about Sophia in the couple of years that I've known her is she's always been a pleasant person. She's always worked with people really well. People who were challenging, she still seemed to have this attitude towards them that was always positive and kind and loving. And I don't know a lot of people that can be like that all the time, no matter what the situation is or what kind of people you're dealing with. So I wanted to talk to her about how do you do that? How do you deal with difficult people, whether they're in our family or friendships, coworkers? How do you deal with people that are challenging and love them, even though they're not so lovable at times? So
I think
let's talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk. I think the first thing is to deal with yourself. Because if you don't have things internally right within you, it's very hard to have them right externally with other people. So if you're dealing with a lot of anger towards yourself, resentment, you're not very patient with yourself, you're beating yourself up, you're telling yourself there's a lot of negative self-talk, criticism, that's going to come out to the way you are dealing with the world as well. So the first step is really taking care of yourself and making sure that you're good with yourself. So, you know, recognizing, okay, I'm starting to complain a lot. I'm starting to be pretty negative here. Like, okay, I think I have a meditation practice. I'm going to go sit and meditate. I'm going to sit and breathe. I'm going to go to yoga, which, you know, it's one of my things that I do. Go practice, go burn all of that, you know, stress out, all of that kind of negativity, sweat it out, feel good. Breathe, and then come back to the center, come back to the essence. And if you're able to show kind of more compassion towards yourself, then you're able to show it to other people. So if you're able to understand that this is what caused me, this is what triggered me, this is what led me to be not so pleasant, you're able to see that in someone else, and it's just a mirror of you. Everyone is just a mirror of us. The most difficult people and the most wonderful people, the easiest, the hardest, they're all just a reflection of ourselves. And we see in them what we have within ourselves that we need to work out and deal with ourselves. So if somebody's attitude is maybe irritating you extra, you know, more than normal, maybe think about what is it within yourself that's doing that you have that you need to work with. I just think that seeing myself as a far from perfect person entity or body or whatever, helps me to be more accepting of others. And filling my well so that I'm not depleted, and knowing when to fill my well when I am depleted, helps me to be just more balanced and to approach people in a different kind of more calm, more understanding way, focusing on the good in people. Because yes, it's always easy to focus on the negative things or the things that bother us or that are not so attractive, but even in those people, trying to find something that is wonderful about them, something that is positive about them. So focus on the good. Don't take things personally.
Yeah.
That's one of the books I read years ago by Ruiz called The Four Agreements. And one of the four agreements was don't take things personally. Don't make assumptions. So if we take things personally, if people are having a bad day and they come at us wrong, then all of a sudden we go, you know, when you get mad, we go on the defensive because we feel like we have to protect ourselves. It's seldom about us, it's mostly about them and what they're going through at that moment that's causing them to act that way. So just being compassionate and empathetic and just kind of saying, okay, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're going through a lot of stuff that's causing them to be like this. Let me try to have empathy and sympathy for them rather than judging them. Assuming that people mean this or that when we don't even know is another thing that gets us into trouble. So not assuming anything. If I have a question, if I'm not clear, let me talk to that person. A whole lot of breath. Breath is important. Like when you just can't, just go in the room, spend 2 minutes, breathe in, breathe out, slow your breathing, just focus your mind. It's seldom as bad as it appears to be when we're kind of rushing on the hamster wheel and pressure cooker of daily life. You can step aside a little bit and be the witness, make it a little bit more objective rather than subjective. Just look at it from a different perspective. Those are all things that have helped me to understand people and to be more compassionate and kind and patient with people.
So a lot of the people that watch my channel are single women who are moms. So you mentioned filling your own well when you're depleted, which is obviously easy to do as a mom, period. You can easily get depleted. So how would you advise them to make time for filling the well, and what does filling the well look like?
I think it means something different to everyone. Because what I love, like going to a yoga class and sweating, and might not be somebody else's cup of tea.
Right.
You know?
It's a cup of tea.
Cup of tea. You have to find what it is that brings you peace. So I love nature time. I love going out and spending time with the trees, on the beach, in the mountains. Somebody else might not really like that. So somebody else might like to knit, or someone else might like to swim or run or go sing. Whatever it is that brings you pleasure, that you love doing, that brings you peace, you should do it on a regular basis. And never say that you don't have time to do it, because it's absolutely essential and critical to your relationship with yourself and with everyone around you. So even if you don't have hours and hours to do it, keep it part of your life and keep it something that you regularly do and come back to. Find like little rituals. Like for me, it's like if I get stressed out, you know, and depleted, I light my incense, or I have my Palo Santo, which is kind of you know, scents are very important to me because I feel like scents take you back. They're a very good way of calming yourself down. Sounds are important to me. You know, things like this, or instruments that you like, music that you like to listen to, just listening to nature, birds chirping. If you like to cook, go cook. Just whatever it is that brings you peace and brings you happiness, making sure to do that. And as a mom, my kids are a little bit older than they used to be, which has gotten a little bit easier, but I remember like being in the thick of it when my kids are a year and a half apart. So it was like a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, or a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. It was crazy. There was hardly ever any time. So enlisting like the help of a parent or a sister or a friend or a neighbor, like maybe we can trade, like you watch the kids for an hour, then I'll watch your kids for an hour, because I just need to get out of the house and I just need to do something for me, even if it's just to sit in my car quietly. And whatever it is, you have to find time for it, and you have to recognize that that's not a luxury. Some people think like taking care of themselves is a luxury, and it's really not. And I'm not talking about you know, $25,000 you know, skin treatments, you know. But taking care of yourself is very important. As a mother, you are light for your children, for, you know, if you have a partner, for, you know, your whole family, your friends. You are in a role that has so much influence.
Yeah.
And we have a special kind of obligation to take care of ourselves so we can be the best us. Because, you know, we impact so many people through our words, through our actions, through our energy. Just our energy. If our energy is off, our whole home is moving. So just recognizing when that time is, and finding a time to reconnect and to make time for the things that we love to do.
Yeah, I noticed in the last year when I really started to see change in myself was when I watched a video. I was dealing with something with my son, and I was trying to figure out how to deal with it as a single mom. So I went looking on YouTube and I typed in how to raise a boy as a single mom. And this video came up of this man sort of preaching, but he was talking about some things, and some of the stuff that he listed in there spoke right to my heart. And he said, your son has to see that you are doing things for you, that you are reaching your goals, you're pursuing your goals, that you're doing things that bring you joy. Because if he doesn't see that, then he will think that he shouldn't do that. If you are with him most of the time, he needs to see that. And so watching that video for some reason really triggered something in me to be like, oh wait, so maybe that'll help the situation that we're currently in, is that I need to actually put myself as a priority, not just in the morning when I wake up, like, you know, oh, like have some quiet time and read, or I need to actually do something during the day in the middle of our craziness. I need to be like, okay, we're going to stop right now. I'm going to go.
Take a bath.
I'm going to go. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I noticed when I started doing that, there was a switch in me as far as healing was concerned. And there was also a switch in the way my kids saw me and saw our daily life. And now we're in a new routine. And the new routine has really helped all of us grow. And the kids really encourage me to do what I love and to take time for myself, because I started doing that at that time when I saw the video, and now they're used to it. So that's for the single moms that are like, well, no, I literally do not have time. Like, no, like, you don't know. I really don't have time. I understand that. I'm in that same boat and I completely get it. And I just found a way. I used my community that we're always trying to offer help and, you know, let the kids come over. I let the help come in so that I could do that. And if you don't have community and you don't trust people to get community, I just encourage you to try. Maybe a mom at your school, your children's school, or just somebody maybe a neighbor that you can try trusting. I just think that community has really been the opportunity for me to do something for myself and to take that time, especially when your kids are younger.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's so important to
it
reach
is.
out, because we want to be islands sometimes, so independent, you know, and individuals, and we're so strong and we don't need any help.
Right.
But sometimes we do need help.
Do you watch anything going on in the world today with different hates and, you know, like people hating this group, hating this group, and all the different arguments about stuff? Do you watch any of that, or do you kind of keep that out of your, because I know you're really big on input, so I'm just wondering if you pay attention to any of the things that are going on.
I do. You know, I don't want to completely not know anything that's going on, but I don't follow it like, you know, kind of minute by minute, play by play. I try to get kind of like an overview. Unfortunately, it's seldom a positive experience to find out what's happening in the world, and it seldom improves, or at least what's reported on seldom improves, because the focus is always on negativity and fear.
Yes, I was going to ask you, what do you think is the root of all the dislike and hatred that is going on that we see? Because there's a lot of love that's happening, I feel like, in the world. There's a lot of love that's happening, but at the same time, there's a lot of hate. And I'm wondering if you have any ideas on why there might be so much hate today.
I think that we bought into like whatever is told to us, and certain people in power often have a lot of sway, and people don't always have their own opportunities to make their own experiences and have their own kind of form their own judgments on things, so they just kind of take whatever is given to them. versus having those one-on-one experiences with different peoples and people that might not, we're just kind of on the attack mode all the time versus having an open dialogue and trying to just be objective about things. People have become so like ideological and just so entrenched in ideologies that we've lost sight of the fact that we're all human beings. We're all on this planet together. We all have this life to live, and we all want what's best for our families, for ourselves. The thing that brings us all together is that we're all living on this earth, and I really firmly believe that within the majority of people on this earth today, there is love and there is a desire for happiness and a well-being and goodness.
Yeah.
I do definitely think that media will always focus on the negative because that's what sells, and that's what people are watching and starting to formulate opinions like that's all that exists. But I think there's so much more exists that just never makes headlines.
Yeah.
So I really believe that people are waking up. I believe there's a lot of consciousness on our planet amidst all the dark and bad that's going on. But I do think that there's a spiritual kind of reawakening that's happening, and people are realizing that and are looking deeper than just boundaries and ideologies and kind of labels that we've been kind of boxed in with in the past.
Yeah.
So hopefully the internet, one of the good things is that brings things together. We can see things that are happening all over the place. It connects us. So hopefully with that, it's just more perspectives are changing.
Yeah, I am a really big fan of love, which is why all these topics are always about love.
It's all about love.
And my motto has always been on this channel to love others and share stories and impact lives. And the reason that I emphasize sharing stories is because I just believe, just like you were talking about connecting, I believe that stories connect us. There are so many things that I have gone through that when someone gives the opportunity to listen to what I've gone through, if they had something against me before, it makes us relatable to one another, and the wall goes down, at least a little bit. And so I always say, I wish that more people took time to hear other people's stories, because I just think that all of us have so many similarities in life that if we all just knew that somebody that we might dislike for whatever reason, even if they did something horrible, that they have a story, and that their story has created the energy that they give off, probably because of pain and hurt. And then fear comes because of pain and hurt. So then you react in that. And it's not to justify anything that anybody does wrong. It's just to try to alleviate the hate that comes after somebody hurts you, and not to assume that because that person did that everybody in their category is the same way, because everybody has their own experience, their own story. And I think a lot of times we experience something with one group of people, and then next thing you know, we're like, oh, that group of people now I'm just going to assume they're all going to do the same thing.
Generalizing, yeah.
Yeah, and that's hard. Even if you've been hurt by a man in your relationship and you're a single mom now, like
all men are like this.
All men are the same. I don't ever want to date. That was me. I don't ever want to date. I don't ever want to. Like, what? Are you kidding? Like, men all suck. They all do the same thing. I don't believe that that's true. But we can easily dive into that thinking. So, yeah.
Yeah. Talking is powerful. Opening ourselves up to other people is powerful. Sharing experiences. And when we share those experiences, we have so much more in common, like you say, than different. The little differences, they're just minor things. Yeah. But, we all hurt the same. Yes. We all love the same.
We do.
We all fear the same. We all, feel pain.
What I don't like that people say is that we are all the same, because I don't agree with that statement. I don't agree that we're all the same, and that's what makes our world so beautiful, is that we are all so different. Cultures are so different. People are raised so differently, and that is why I think it's so important for us to start talking to each other more and stop, judging off of what we see, because we don't know. We just really don't know, and I think it all goes back to what you were talking about in the beginning, when you were listing the things that you do to kind of take care of yourself, where you can be more accepting of people. And I want you to just relist those things really quickly for people. Like, what is it that you do to take care of yourself so that you can love others? And then we're going to leave this spot and we're going to go up to this beautiful area that she has in her home that she uses to breathe and
watch the sunset,
and meditate. So we're just going to go up there and take a look at it, and then we're going to wrap up. But just real quick, just re-summarize real quick what it is that you do to take care of you so that you can better love others.
I find time for doing the things that I love to do. Like my yoga practice is something that no matter how busy, no matter how stressed, I'm going to get on my mat. I'm going to do at least some poses. I'm going to do them consciously. I'm going to link breath with the movement, which is really important to get into your body so that you're not just in your head all the time, which is so easy to get to be part of, just being in your head. Other things are just the breathing techniques. There's so many wonderful breathing techniques. Yoga practice.
Doing something for yourself.
Yeah.
Filling your well.
Scents that you love to smell that make you feel good.
Yes.
Candles.
Yes.
Making like a sacred ritual kind of, sounds like bowls or
worship
chimes.
Music, for those of you who listen to worship music, I do worship music. I'm always playing it. It's always in my...
Exactly. If you play an instrument, sound is wonderful. Just to kind of get into your senses, so the sense of smell and sound, touching, putting on something comfortable that you like to wear, one of your favorite comfortable, robes or whatever it is that will make you feel good. Like you put it on and you can just, sigh of relief, you feel really good.
And then the other thing was I wanted
eating good, clean food that's going to make you feel good, that's going to build up your body, not just a craving, like I want this, it's going to make me feel like garbage afterwards. Eating stuff that's going to really make you feel good and give you energy and give you vitality and health.
Yeah. And then I like how you said sleeping.
Every once in a while.
Resting.
A good sleep will help. And if all else fails, if you try all of these techniques and it's not working for you, take a nap.
Take a nap.
Naps are underrated, but oftentimes it's just nothing's going right. Put yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
Wake up, new perspective.
That's good. I like that.
Under a tree is really nice if you can find a little tree.
Yeah, right here would be great. Lucky for me, I know where she lives. You don't. And then just not assuming. I liked how you talk about when it comes to other people, not assuming, not taking things personally, not judging before you know something. All of those things, and then just understanding that everybody has a story. So, okay, well, let's go up to the mountain, and then we'll just wrap up there.